Hey, this is Dr. Marisa Snyder, and today I want to talk about perimenopause. We hear a lot about menopause, but what about the long 4 to 10 plus year transition in our late 30s and 40s that are leading up to menopause? Because let's be honest, no one's talking about it, and it can be a roller coaster of a transition. Now, in my podcast today, I'm talking about the different phases of perimenopause, because when you have a transition that takes that long to get to that defining moment where you don't have a period for 12 months, there's a lot of changes that take place. And I like to think of those changes as phases in perimenopause. And what I believe to be true is when we know what is going on with our body and we have a plan in which we can execute based on what's happening with our body, we can actually navigate this transition and into menopause and beyond with a lot of ease and grace and a ton more energy than we ever thought possible. Now, especially in those 4 to 2 years before we actually get to menopause, the symptoms really hit the fan. Things like sleeplessness, fatigue, anxiety, even hot flashes and night sweats start to happen, maybe unexplained weight gain. I mean, the list goes on and on. Maybe it's heavy bleeding, migraines, fibrocystic breast. Honestly, I'm not going to continue to list the things off because it can feel a little daunting and definitely discouraging. But when we're able to understand what's going on with our bodies and what's happening with our fluctuating hormones, especially the two big players here when it comes to the decrease of our reproductive lives, progesterone and estrogen, we can then make a plan. So in today's episode, not only do I map out the different phases of perimenopause so that we know what to expect in our early 40s compared to our late 40s, but also what we can do right now. Because I have a feeling that some of those symptoms, especially if you're in your late 30s or your 40s, are symptoms of perimenopause that we can absolutely get under wraps and get under control so that when we start to move through those mid to late 40s into early 50s where menopause becomes the thing, that we just navigate it so much differently. And in my research, because I've got a book coming out next year literally on this topic, is that it doesn't take a lot of levers to make a massive shift. The two big things that I see that are the most important is one, taking ownership of your health, saying to yourself, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm running the show, I'm steering this ship, it is my body, I know what's up, and making those changes with that ownership. And then the second thing is just being open and being receptive to shifts and changes, because the inevitable is the inevitable. The body is changing. And the more that we can embrace it, accept it, and really kind of reframe it to be this really incredible new beginning for ourselves, which it truly is. Like I think about women in their 40s and their 50s, like how much incredible work that we're doing in the world, the missions that we're accomplishing, just the incredible feats and successes that we're creating. And it's really hard to do all of that when we're feeling pretty crummy and our body isn't working the way that we want. So in this episode that's live today, I paint the full picture and I give you a full game plan so that you feel really prepared and it doesn't knock you off, right? And you don't have any expectation of what's to come. I think it's always important. So when we know what's going on with our bodies, we can make deliberate action and simple action to get the results that we're looking for. So if you're in this phase or you're about to saunter into it, this is the episode for you.